Welcome everybody, my name is John Walker. I'm the CEO of Holosail Technologies. We are a veteran-founded company here in the United States. We have a office right here in Papillion, Nebraska, our tech office. We as a company value our service to a community, to citizens, and to business in the United States more than we value profit. We have a code of ethics that followed us from the military, and we have a code of integrity. We support Don Bacon because we have got to know him and had the honor to realize that he, like us, has a sense of duty to America, to the American people, and he has supported veterans all across Nebraska and all across the United States, and we have bear witness to that. With no further ado, I will introduce Mayor Black of Papillion.
Thank you. I'm David Black, Mayor of Papillion, Nebraska, and it's in Sarpy County. I'm happy to endorse Don Bacon. Sarpy County has been the fastest growing county in the state for probably the last decade, and Papillion has been one of the fastest growing cities in the county and the state during that period. And so we've had challenges with economic development, growth, infrastructure, and we have a lot of great partnerships. And before Don was a congressman, he was a general for the 55th at Offutt Air Force Base. And I knew him as mayor, and he had his relationship, he was over the base. And so we had a great relationship there, and it's an important relationship for the state. And so then when he became a congressman, we continued the relationship, and with the infrastructure and the growth, roads, sewer infrastructure, bridges, critical infrastructure, and federal interests there. And most recently, Congressman Bacon was critical in helping us secure some funding for sewer infrastructure, which allows us to build out the southern 2/3 of Sarpy County and continue the economic development. And this does become the economic engine for the state of Nebraska. So proud to endorse Don Bacon. And I would like to introduce my friend, Mike Evans, Mayor of Gretna.
Hey, thanks, Dave.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mayor Black. Very similar to Mayor Black in Papillion. We're part of Sarpy County, like he referenced. It's one of the fastest growing counties, if not in the state, definitely in the area as well. We're just so glad to be part of this. Congressman Bacon's been such a great friend and a leader for us. We just can't do this by ourselves. You know, our community, I think when I was elected, was a town of 5,000. With the recent annexation, now we're closer to 10,000. And we just can't accomplish everything to ourselves. Our staff is, working tirelessly, building our community, serving our citizens. And there's just things we can't reach with our staff. And Congressman Bacon doesn't wait for something to go wrong. He reaches out to us. He's in our community all the time, talking to us. What can we do to do better? What can he do to be better? What are our citizens? What's on their minds? So, I'm just so thankful that he's our congressman, not only for our community, but for our county, our district, and the state. He doesn't do this because he's always just trying to get elected while it does help. He does it because that's who he is. He's been serving his whole life, and it's just an example of who he is, and I'm honored and appreciate getting to meet you and everything you do for us.
Thank you, Mayor.
Proudly endorse Don Bacon. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And next here is Mr. Ryan Eidshaug with U.S. Chamber.
My name is Ron Eidshaug. Great to be here. Washington, D.C. can do a lot of things. Washington, D.C. can do a lot for you, and Washington, D.C. can do a lot to you. When we needed things from Washington, when the American business community needed things from Washington, like lower taxes, Congressman Bacon stood with us. When we needed significant investment in our infrastructure so that our communities could prosper and grow, our communities could prosper and grow, Congressman Bacon stood with us. When we needed Congress to push back on the Pelosi, Schumer, Biden Build Back Better plan, Congressman Bacon stood with us. So we are very, very proud today to stand with Congressman Bacon and to support him in his endeavors and look forward to returning him to Congress in this next election. So thank you very much, Congressman.
Appreciate it. That's awesome. Well, first of all, I appreciate Mr. Eidshaug coming out here from D.C., and I appreciate the U.S. Chamber's endorsement. And I also appreciate our two great mayors. As already stated, Sarpy County is the fastest growing county in Nebraska, 93 counties. And these two cities are the fastest growing cities in Nebraska. So I love working with both, and they've been great friends. And I've enjoyed, like I say, a relationship going back to 2011. And then now, since my tenure here, getting to know you, and it's been wonderful. So, you know, when it's all said and done, we want America to be the most competitive nation in the world. And to do that, you got to have a tax code that competes. You got to have a regulatory environment that competes. You got to have an infrastructure that competes. And I've tried to work on all of that and much more with the U.S. Chamber so that companies like that John Walker here is leading could start up and thrive and grow. But this started with trying to get a tax code that was at least even with the rest of the world, so businesses had a level playing field. But when I came in 2017, we were paying a third more taxes for our businesses. It wasn't right. And we also had a tax code that disincentivized companies overseas bringing their money back. So we fixed that, and I am proud that we fixed that. And it's one of the reasons why today we're back to the numbers of the pre-COVID numbers, because we have a tax code that allows businesses to invest and to do direct expensing. And so we've incentivized these businesses to come back and get healthy again. Then when you look at the regulatory environment, these are things I work with the mayors. It should take 6 years to get a permit, or 7 years, because the cost doubles. So we're working on trying to streamline the permitting process so you can get your roads widened and things like that. Infrastructure, we only invest 2% of our GDP in infrastructure. Canada does 4%, Europe does 5%, China does 9%. We need to have an infrastructure that allows us to compete with trade, commerce, public safety, has a national security impact. And that's why I supported the infrastructure bill that was 94% infrastructure, and then the rest was toxic site cleanup. But we have 1,300 bridges in Nebraska that need to be replaced. We want to replace them. We need some new interstate links between some of our major cities. We need rural broadband in parts of our district here, maybe not so much in your two towns, but Saunders County, we surely do. We're going to get an $800 million investment at the airport through the infrastructure bill. We're going to have one of the best airports in the entire Midwest by the time we're done. And I could go on and on. And so I appreciated that. I work with the chamber also on trades, trying to expand the trades programs so that we can have folks come out of high school that can be hired by great companies like yours. And so we need to help transition people going out of high school with the skill sets that they can have a great job in companies like your own. So those are things that we've been focusing on. I'll just close by saying it's been a privilege. For the last 2 years, the U.S. Chamber takes 2 people from each party and says this is our top officials. And 2 years straight, I've been one of the top 2 Republicans out of the U.S. Chamber, and it's a point of pride. And not many people say they've done that 2 years straight. So when I'm an old man, which is like right now, I can brag on that. So I appreciate that. So I appreciate your all's endorsements today, your kind words. Thank you, John Walker, for hosting today. And we wish your company the very best right here in Sarpy County. Thank you. So appreciate it. We're done. Wrap it up. Thanks.